Welcome to Lecture 3.2, in which we will give a brief overview of prokaryotic cells. This is a collage of various prokaryotic cells, which as you can see are a very diverse group with various shapes and sizes. In this video, we will define the characteristics of prokaryotic cells and describe their components. Prokaryotic cells include organisms in both the bacteria and archaea domain. They are always unicellular and are generally smaller and simpler in structure when compared to eukaryotes. They are distinguished by having DNA in a nucleoid region, instead of enclosed in a nucleus that separates the DNA from the rest of the cell. For this reason, prokaryotic cells are able to replicate their DNA and divide much more quickly. Now let's talk about the components of prokaryotic cells. Like all cells, prokaryotic cells have a plasma membrane, colored here in green, a cytoplasm, colored in blue, DNA, colored in red, and ribosomes, represented by these dark blue circles. Prokaryotic DNA is actually circular. You may see what looks like a bunch of tangles here, but if it was to be untangled, it would be a circle, kind of like if you were to untangle a rubber band. As mentioned, the DNA is not stored in the nucleus. Instead, the DNA is in what is referred to as the nucleoid region. There are also a few other structures that are often found in prokaryotic cells that we will go over in the next few slides. First, the cell wall. Most prokaryotic cells have a cell wall, which is depicted here in yellow. The cell wall provides additional rigidity and structure to the prokaryote. In bacteria, the cell walls contain peptidoglycans, which are peptides combined with carbohydrates. Some components of the immune system recognize bacteria based on the presence of peptidoglycans on the cell wall. And many antibiotics target the peptidoglycans to destroy their structure and kill the bacteria. Incidentally, the peptidoglycans in the cell wall also determine whether the bacteria is gram-negative or gram-positive. Unlike bacteria, archaea do not have peptidoglycans in their cell walls. While the components of archaea cell walls can be very diverse, many have specialized lipids, which help archaea maintain thermal stability and allow them to live in areas of extreme temperature. There are a few more components that are found on most prokaryotes. One is the capsule. The capsule is a protective jelly-like layer found on the very outside of the prokaryote, and is depicted here as a red outer layer. In addition to protecting the prokaryote, it also helps it with sticking to surfaces. These small little pieces of DNA here are plasmids. Plasmids are also circular DNA, but much smaller in size than the DNA that contains a prokaryote's DNA. You can think of plasmids as extra DNA. They do not code for proteins that are absolutely essential for the prokaryote, but can provide things like antibiotic resistance. The flagellum is this long structure here that allows for the prokaryote to move around. These other smaller hair-like structures on the outside are the pili. They can also contribute to motility, and in some cases can also help the prokaryote stick to surfaces better. They are also the component that allows for the exchange of genetic material between two bacteria, a process often considered the equivalent of sexual reproduction in bacteria. One last thing is the cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton is usually composed of various proteins that help provide additional structure to the cell. These proteins include actin and tubulin, which we will learn more about in the eukaryotic cell video. Prokaryotes do have actin-like and tubulin-like proteins, which can form a ring structure that will help with cell division as depicted here. However, prokaryotes rely more on their cell wall for structure than their cytoskeleton. In this video, we learned that prokaryotic cells make up the bacteria and archaea domain. They are distinguished from eukaryotes by their lack of a nucleus. Instead, their DNA is found in the nucleoid. Prokaryotic cells are overall much simpler than eukaryotic cells. Some of the other components they have include the cell wall, which contains peptidoglycans in bacteria and specialized lipids in archaea. They also have a capsule that provides additional protection, flagella for motility, plasmids that contain extra genes, pili, and cytoskeleton-like proteins. In the next video, we will go over eukaryotic cells. Thanks for watching.